Hello and welcome to this ongoing saga of Excel training material. In this recording, I'm talking about entering, editing, and managing data. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing, entering and deleting, inserting and hiding, and moving data. So let's talk about entering data. So obviously you can enter it manually. You just go into a cell and you enter it. Or you can copy and paste it from another source. Or you can import it from another source like a database. Or you can create formulas to help enter the data. So if we take a look at something that I'm going to be using, um, this particular file, right? So I can go in, delete that, and just go into a particular cell and say, okay, I'm going to add 15.99, right? And basically I'm going in there into the cell and clicking that. Now you'll notice on the formula toolbar here, I'm also getting it there. So that means that I can go here and it tells me I'm in C16 and I can add 16.99 there, right? Or you can get external data by going into a source and coming from there, or you can obviously copy and home copy and paste data like that. So it makes it quite simple to do that. Or you can create formulas to enter the data. And so basically, if you just wanted to copy that row, I do this a lot, and it's probably something I shouldn't do as much. F6, and there's 14.99. And then I can just go down, or if you want to copy this particular row, you can just see the square there, and you're basically going to copy it down. And so, it's a formula. Obviously, there's not going to be anything in the next row. Now, what's interesting about this method is if you forget that these are formulas in here and not hard data, then you could be in trouble when you try to sort it, right? If you're sorting the data. So let me do this as well. I'll copy it like this, and you can see the difference, right? So this particular one has F6, so it's referring to this particular cell. This one is not because it's hard data, right? So it makes a difference because now if I try to go to data and sort the data using column I, see how it's all messed up? Because it's not sorting it, right? Because these are still formulas. Okay, so basically, let's see what I want to do. Didn't sort it at all. What I want to do then is obviously copy it, and then I'll paste it. These are different pastes, right? And you can see what kind of pastes you want. Paste the formulas, formula numbers, keep sourcing in the format, keep the widths right, transpose. I use transpose a lot. And transpose really means, I'll show you in a second, paste the values, and that's what I'm going to do. So I paste the values, right? Now, if I were to transpose this, um, I'll copy and paste transpose. It means that instead of going down vertically, it's going to paste it horizontally. So I will do that here like that, see? And so it does that rather than you recopying it somehow. It's so easy, right? Excel is our friend. So that's kind of entering data. Either entered as, so manually entering it, you can either as text or numbers. So to start, you go to the cell and type like the month, right? Like this, right? Month, unit sales, average price, and sales dollar. And then you price the right arrow to go right. You go to the joining cell. I did that by mouse click, but you can go like that, right? And you're moving back or forth around that. And then you type in unit sales and type in average price and sales dollar. I'm building this this table that I'm going to use when we start to look at formulas as well. So let me get rid of this stuff. So you can see things going on here, right? So the widths of these are going to be, well, let's see. I can do a right click and then see what the column width is. and the column width is 8.26. That's default, right? And they're all going to be that way. Well, the problem is now that I can't see what this is, right? So basically what I can do is go to the top where I see in between columns C and D here. And when I see the crosshairs, I double click on it and it takes me to that size. I can also just hold down my um, left button on my mouse, and I can drag it as far as I want, right, and create that as much as I want. Or I can, you know, look at certain cells, do a left click, and then back here to column width, and I can type in, 25. And see, now they're all 25. So that's basically how you might navigate through these cells. Next, you move down the rows and enter data. And you don't want to enter symbols. Like sometimes Excel will do this automatically for you, but you always want to add them later. So what does that mean? So what that means is you'll notice that I already entered the data. I'll get rid of this, guys. So I've entered this data, right? So basically, I'm looking at certain kinds of numbers, right? But these have decimal points, and these have nothing. So basically, what I might want to do is then format it. It's just easier to do it all at once when you're formatting it just like that, right? So these are not dollar figures, these are unit sales. So in my units, I can't really have less than 1 unit, so I'm just not going to include a decimal point. Here, these are including decimal points. You can go to this number sign and then blow this out, and it shows you what you can do with this. So average price, I can use a currency like that, or I can use, and this is a little bit more accounting, so I might want to kind of look at my accounting numbers. Now these are a little bit different because basically it's telling you what happens if you go negative. So these are negative numbers. So here it would just put a minus, here it would be red, here it would be parentheses, here it would be red and parentheses. Of course, you can change the decimal points too. I wouldn't want to do that ordinarily. But then if I go to accounting, you'll notice that the dollar sign will show up on the left part of this particular cell like that. See how many decimal points I have? It's crazy, but I can change that easily just by clicking on this. And if you wanted to round up, then you can do it that way. So that's how you include um, these particular types of number symbols. And I want to do accounting. And I want to do two. And you, of course, can change the currency if you want to. We can use, Russian, what are they, rubles, like that, which would be a little weird, but that's what it is. But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use dollars, and I'm going to use accounting, and boom. So there we go. So I'm looking at moving this out. So I'll put another decimal point in there. Okay, so um, that's a look at kind of using those for entering numbers. So when you edit the data, you can double click on the cell itself and enter it directly, or single click in a cell and type your edit in the formula bar. I believe I did show you that. So if I wanted to edit this from 775 to 765, I could just go to it and enter it. I double click to get there. Or if I want to go back to 775, I can go to the formula bar and enter it up there. Right? So it shows me how to do that. So autofill is a feature available when manually entering data. It makes it easier. This feature has many uses. It's most beneficial when you're entering data in a defined sequence, such as numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on, or non-numeric data, such as the days of the week or months, etc. So if we look at this, and I have something like January, right? And so you notice this as well. I showed this previously. You can just double click on it and it will fill out through December. I know I only had 12 as separated as this. So you could do it that way, or you could basically just hold on to this when you get the crosshair and pull it down, and you have the same thing. Now, what's interesting about this is that you have to have contiguous data, right? So notice now that I have a column that's blank. If I do this, nothing happens. And that's because it's autofill. It's autofilling based on what you have in other columns, right? So there's nothing there, but I can drag it down, right? And it will fill it out, right? So you can't autofill it with that clicking of the box, but you can figure it here. Now, if I had a sequence of numbers, like I wanted to say, instead of month, January, I put month one and month two, etc. Right? Well, I can do the autofill like this, right? Now look what it's done, right? It's copied all those numbers too, but I don't want that, right? I want them to equal 12, not to equal 12, but I want consecutive numbers 1 through 12. So it gives you this autofill options here, and you click on that, and you say, okay, instead of copying the cells, which are here, I want to fill the series. And so it does that for me. So that's kind of a nice way to fill those. It's called what? Autofill, right? Okay, so next, we're looking at deleting data. There are a few ways you can do that. If it's one cell, you go to the cell and you delete it. You've seen me do that. If it's a range of cells, you can highlight those cells, sorry, and delete them. You can highlight rows or columns and delete those. And you can delete everything in a worksheet by clicking in the upper left corner of the worksheet. And you can even delete an entire worksheet. So let me show you those, right? So maybe I want to delete January. I just go to the cell and I press the delete button. Okay, so that's fine. Maybe I want to delete average price column. I can go make a right click on, I'm sorry, a left click on the D, and then a right click, and I can delete it, right? Or going back, I have that fill, and I can go to, let's see, where's my edit? Nope, I always use the clicks. Review, view, merge, wrap text. So I'm not finding it, right? So, oh, here we go. We can just cut, right? Or clipboard, and we can go to clear. So it didn't clear it, but so the tried and true recommendation that I have is to do this and then delete, right? So we can always figure ways out, and I want to close this. We can do the same with columns, or I'm sorry, rows. Click on the row, do a right click, and delete that particular data. Now you can delete everything in a worksheet by clicking in the upper left-hand corner right here. So when you click on there, you see that everything is highlighted. That means the whole worksheet is highlighted, and you can click the delete button and everything's gone. It's kind of scary because you don't really want that to happen. Or you can delete the entire worksheet, right? So let me copy this worksheet. I'll move or copy it, and I'll create a copy, move it to the end. So now it's over here. I'm like, oh, I really don't want that, right? So now or maybe I want to delete sheet one. Again, I just go right click and delete, and it will permanently delete the sheet. Do you want that? Not really, but I don't want two of them, so I'm going to delete this one. Sure, permanently delete that. Okay, so those are kind of the ways of deleting data. Now, inserting is pretty similar, right? You can go insert rows or columns by highlighting a row, and then right-click and then select insert, and it will insert it above where you have it. So in here in 7, I highlight the column, and I click a right-click and I insert, and you see that is inserted a row above that. You can also hide or unhide using columns or rows. So say I want to hide this column from someone, I just right click on that, and you see I have hide and unhide, so I hide that. So now it's hidden. Now the trick is when you're unhiding it, you have to go and click on these two cells that bind that right on either side of them. So C is hidden, so I want to click on B and D, do a right click, and I have unhide, and there it is back again. The same thing works for rows. I can hide the row, or I can go back, and by clicking Shift, I highlight both of them, and then I unhide them, right? So it only gets confusing when you have multiple hiddens, and then, or when you're hiding the first row or column. So it gets a little bit more confusing, but still can be done. And that's nice to use sometimes when you don't want to, you have a lot of things in an Excel file, you don't want to show everything. Okay, so moving data. Once data are entered into a worksheet, you have the ability to move it to different locations. And this shows you how you highlight the range in the upper left cell and click and drag down to the right and bring the mouse pointer to the left edge of the cell, and you'll see the white block plus change cross paths. So basically, you're going to look at this. And if I go up, right, I'm going to look at that. And then I can move. Oh, I'm going to expand it. And see how I get the crosshairs there? And then, well, and then basically you can move it like that wherever you want. That's a little, I'll see, not because it's getting crazy there because it wasn't long enough. So what happened there was that the column wasn't wide enough to display all the data. This column was. So basically I just double clicked on there, and it gave me that. So I find that a little bit touchy. I just generally copy and paste or cut and paste. It seems a little bit easier for me to do that. So that ends this recording. I was talking about entering, editing, and managing data in Excel.